You're welcome. Today, I want us to further explore some of the properties of capitalism. But of course, last week we had opportunity to look at the hockey stick graph that tells us about the various GDP, average GDP of countries over time. And at least we had a chance to have a look at how Italy was doing at a point, and then how India was also doing at a point, but how British later took over from the 18th century to the 20th century, where it became a force to reckon with and became the face of the Industrial Revolution. Over time, we saw through the graph how some countries were sustaining their growth path, and then how some countries were declining and all that, and then countries which were way below Italy who were equally rising, especially Japan, that was nowhere, but then at a point in time was gaining so much grounds. Now, it is important for me to do this video today because I have a friend who comes from what's the name of the place? This friend, oh, this place that China is so much interested in and then wants to take over. It's not Hong Kong. It's the place Taiwan. Okay, so what makes today's conversation more interesting is I have this friend who is from Taiwan, and then he has been explaining the economic system of Taiwan and then that of China for me. And then anytime he talks about it, especially if you have a background or idea about how economies are run and the various systems that are used in running the economy, you better appreciate whatever he's saying. So I'll tell you what he shared with me. And then I was more or less like, why are you from Taiwan but decided to come here? And then he tries to share a lot of things with me with regards to what's going on. So one of them being, Taiwan has been enjoying some level of democracy after it separated itself from China. Of course, we all know that China is a communist state, which the economy is mostly run by government, or the government is in the center of the economy, or government is in the center of allocation and distribution of resources of the country. But Taiwan used to be part of China. But after they decided to go with the West, a lot of things have changed there. Now they employ more of democratic principles. So we say that Taiwan is more or less like a capitalist economy. And according to him, he said that Taiwan actually has an open economy compared to China. And then he said that though China is growing at a very faster rate, or China is experiencing huge growth, a lot of companies are relocating to China because of cheap labor and then all that. And then the people of Taiwan equally like to do business with the people of China because they all have same culture and then all that. But the whole point is, after enjoying freedom for some time, it becomes so difficult for you to go back to the typical China way of life or that socialist way of life where there are a lot of rules and regulations. Now, he said that in China, for example, it is not easy to transfer money from China to other parts of the world. It's not that it's not possible, but the way in the various Western countries like the US, the Canada, how it's so easy to transfer money anytime you want. In China, it is not like that. So the economy is not as open as Taiwan, right? And then I felt that was very interesting. He also set an example with Hong Kong, and according to him, Hong Kong was actually with the UK, and I think from 1997 they decided to come back to China, and the whole point was Hong Kong was the trade center of Asia. Then when they decided to go back to China, a lot of people are leaving Hong Kong on the basis that after enjoying democracy for some time with the UK, going back to China is becoming difficult. They don't like the socialist way of life, and then blah blah blah. So what this tells you is every economic system and the properties that comes with it. So wherever you want to do business, anywhere you want to go, you would have to appreciate the economic system that runs the affairs of that country before you put your head or you put your investment in that particular country. All right, I felt that was an interesting education for all of us as we're trying to explore the economic system known as capitalism. All right. Now, as I was telling you last time, we had opportunity to go through the hockey stick curve, and then we were able to appreciate GDPs of countries or average GDPs of country and how it has changed through time. Anytime we talk about GDP, we are talking about total output of a country, right? Yes. So whatever a country produces, when you put all of them together, that is what we are talking about GDP. And then if you want to know the worth of every individual within the country, that is the GDP divided by the population, where you get to know what each and every person is earning within that country. All right. Now, today I want to focus on some properties of a capitalist economy. And then, anytime we talk about capitalism, I've told you that democracy is a pure attribute of capitalism. In capitalist economy, there is a free room for all of us to do anything we want to do. And then one point that I forgot last time was ownership of property. In a capitalist economy, everybody is allowed to own property, right? So you can own a property, I can own a property. But then when Adam Smith was explaining capitalism, he made it quite clear that there has to be some protection from government, right? So in terms of production of public goods, government would have to do that. In the area of protection, like the police, in protecting the interest of investors, that is also key. So it has to also tell us that the whole capitalist system equally made it possible for the police system and then all other security systems that tends to protect us, like kind of brought it into being, right? Because it is a system that is allowing you to own a property or any property you want. Therefore, there needs to be some level of protection, and that level of protection is what Adam Smith was talking about, that we need a court system and a police system or a security system to protect investment of individuals. So anywhere any capitalist wants to go or any investor wants to go, when he's analyzing a country that seems to be okay to make an investment there, they are looking at your security systems, they are looking at your justice system, which is your court system, and then other important things before they come into the country to invest. So these are some few qualities that has to exist in a capitalist economy. Of course, with time, I will take my time and analyze the socialist economy for you to also appreciate the economy where government is in the center of everything. We want to do that, right? Okay, so let me still dwell on some few properties of a capitalist economy. Of course, we've talked about self-interest. In fact, in a capitalist economy, everybody is pursuing his interest, but it's the interest of different economic units when it comes into play. That is where forces of demand apply, and then we see all that we have to see, or where an equilibrium has to come, and then blah blah blah. I mean, it is individual self-interest that is underplayed. Now, in a capitalist economy, there is competition, and then we do say that if people are allowed to own property, if people are allowed to come up with their own ingenuity and creativity, if people are allowed to kind of focus on how best they can make their product in order for consumers to have high interest in buying their product, then it means that these firms within the market are going to be competing among themselves. And so you realize that anywhere there's capitalism, there's some sort of competition. And what competition brings is it improves quality. Yes, so it's very important for us to also note that competition is part of a capitalist economy. All right, I mean, we have freedom to choose. That is also part of it. Limited government rule, we've talked about it, which I believe all of us understand. Now, next time, what we are going to do is we will look at the various critique of a capitalist economy for those who feel that there is some level of challenges or there is some level of challenge with countries that are operating a capitalist economy. For countries like Ghana, Nigeria, Canada, US, I mean, any country you know that is operating with a capitalist economy, some of the challenges that they face per the proponent of the capitalist theory will get through and then look at it. Now, I'm very sure that when we are done with this, you will understand some of the challenges you would have to expect in the economy that you're living in. So if you're a businessman and you understand the nature of the Ghanaian economy, you understand inflation, you understand the exchange rate, you understand some important dynamics within the Ghanaian economy, then when you want to do business, you factor all these things before you commit resources into anything that you want to do, right? So we will look at the various critiques of the capitalist economy, and then we will look at some of the interesting dynamics that happen from time to time. So, if there is any particular issue with the country where we have to come around and then analyze it, I'll definitely do that for you. Of course, with all the industrial revolution we are talking about, I am also keen or I'm interested in trying to find African countries, especially those who have experienced industrial revolution. You know, most are still struggling to optimize industrial revolution or to kind of experience industrial revolution to its highest level, right? So as some countries have experienced industrial revolution in the 20th century, some people are yet to experience industrial revolution. And anytime industrial revolution happens in a country, you see the aftermath. You see the trait of this industrial revolution. And then countries that have experienced industrial revolution, if you want to analyze their economy or look at the advancement in their economy, it is also equally clear. So this is just going to be an interesting adventure for you, especially those who want to learn and then follow, right? Thank you so much. Thanks for joining me. Goodbye. Take good care of yourself. Bye bye.